There has never been a time you watched the basketball game with Angel Reese on the court and said, whoa, who's that balling out of control? She's a good little player, but she's not someone that sticks out on the screen and makes you go, I got to watch more of this. Who is that? Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, I remember when I was seeing her name on Instagram, it'd be like, Caitlin Clark post. I'm like, here they go trying to hype up some broad. But when I watched her, it was undeniable. It was like, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bolo, and I'm coming to you with another video for educational purposes only. Today, we're going to be talking about Stephen A. Smith, Scheming A. Smith, the pathological liar, and this new chick I never heard of, Monica McNutt. So basically, she's going to just show something we all know, that most women are just ungrateful and entitled. This is why you got to let these chicks figure it out on their own. Stop helping, because it's never enough. It's never enough, and you never did it quick enough. The WNBA, no one gave a shit, and deservedly so, up until Caitlin Clark. I know a lot of people can be like, but Angel Reese, give me a fucking break about that. There has never been a time you watched the basketball game with Angel Reese on the court and said, whoa, who's that balling out of control? She's a good little player, but she's not someone that sticks out on the screen and makes you go, I got to watch more of this. Who is that? Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, I remember when I was seeing her name on Instagram, it'd be like, Caitlin Clark post. I'm like, here they go trying to hype up some broad. But when I watched her, it was undeniable. It was like, this is a fucking woman doing this shit. What the I had to like watch clips, and I actually pulled her up on YouTube just to watch some of her stuff. Okay, so it's all because of Caitlin Clark. Now this chick is going to talk about how Stephen A. should do something against his own best interest, but let's listen to it right now.
This sports more than First Take.
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to. I did not intend to.
First and foremost, Stephen A. covers things that people want to hear about. It's not his job to make things popular. He comments on popular things, or things that he think will gain a lot of traction. Okay, if he hears a little tidbit about an athlete gambling on his own team, yeah, it's not known, but he knows that'll become a big story. You're either breaking a big story or you're covering an already big story. But if something isn't going to be a big story, why the hell would you cover it? His job is to bring eyeballs to his network, YouTube channel, whatever it is. Okay?
To make it personal. But when I look at Stephen A. and my relationship with Stephen A., he the head honcho at ESPN as far as I'm concerned. If SA says, let's talk about it, it's going to be discussed.
So
right?
what?
Right.
But what I do stand by is that the way that the WNBA is being covered, 3 years ago, we were not having these conversations about the WNBA as we are now.
Because you didn't deserve it. You didn't have anything that people cared about. You now have Caitlin Clark. You have her arch nemesis, Angel Reese, which like I said before, no one really cares about her. Her rivalry with Angel Reese isn't Magic Bird, where it's like, if you see Bird off playing someone else, you're still like, wow, look at this guy. This is more like a Ruben Patterson, Kobe stopper kind of rivalry, where it's like, yeah, you're a good little player, but we only know you because you're talking shit about the real big dog. That's the only reason we know about you, okay? So that's the kind of rivalry this is. The only reason people are actually paying attention is because of her. Point blank, period. If she was not drafted, if she did not exist, the WNBA would not get any coverage and wouldn't deserve any. You are not owed coverage. Okay, there's badminton players that are probably sick as fuck at badminton. Okay, there's bowlers that are probably rolling 300, spinning the hell out that ball. Okay, esports, for decades, no one gave a shit about that. No one said, wow, I really like this. We should cover it to try and make it more popular. No, it wasn't until it was undeniable. X Games, stuff like that. It wasn't until Tony Hawk started popping off. That's when it was like, oh, we got to get this on the mainstream. We can't put this on ESPN too. We got to put this on the real stuff now. Okay? That's what their job is to do. to make things that are in the news. They got to talk on it, or it's going to be something that this is like breaking, like, oh, this is about to be big. We need to break it first. Those are the only two things they're going to do. They're not going to make some shit that no one cares about, and people have made it known they don't give a shit about, and try and force feed it to people. That's not their job.
And that is just a fact.
But you said, Monica, it's never too late to do the right thing.
Absolutely. And I think people be like, oh, nobody was talking about, like you. I heard you at the end of that show. You lucky Molly had to go to break. Monica, you proving his point because nobody was talking about Caitlin Clark at 3 years ago. I heard your old Southern sass back there.
Who talk about women's sports more?
Okay, and then Shannon Sharp, who he knows why no one was talking about it, but he doesn't want to ruffle the feathers of the powers that be, the whole woke mafia. You got to prop up all the women and act like they're just as valuable as the guys. They're not. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Caitlin Clark right now is your golden child. And for some reason, these women, I'm not going to say some reason, women are incredibly jealous. Very much me, I want the attention. So I'm not really surprised, but at the same time, it's like you're seeing an immediate impact of this girl jumping into this league. Most of the things you were complaining about, not getting attention, not getting the pay, the travel, all of that has been solved. And this bitch is getting trucked randomly. But look, hopefully she doesn't get hurt. Honestly, I'm happy for these ladies that they got this golden cow. I really just hope they don't fuck it up. But I got a sneaking suspicion they will. Somebody's going to take it a little too far with this girl, Caitlin, and get her hurt. I hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And there goes the golden goose. Up until this Juju Watkins girl. I'm hearing a lot about her. She looks like a good baller. She doesn't really pop as far as just spectacular stuff that gets casuals to embrace something, but she is really good. So maybe she'll be the next cash cow. But as of right now, it's Caitlin Clark, point blank, period. It is what it is. I'm out.